Okay, hello guys. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Population Me or Miracle really. And if you're returning, this is episode 3 or 4 for Chasing Rejection. It has been a quick minute since I actually sat down and talked to you guys about where I'm at with the whole rejection process. And if you're new here, I am doing a rejection challenge, which if you are in STEM, you already know what that means. It means applying for jobs a million times, getting rejected for all of them, hoping to get that one interview that will lead you to that one offer. Or if you're in any other medium, trying to continually do something until you get the yes you're looking for, or at least not quitting until you get the yes. So that is what I've been doing. And I have an Excel sheet, which is a Google sheet really, where I'm basically putting out all the ways that I'm trying to push myself to be more out there, whether it's in modeling, content creation, or even in a job interview, and just trying to put myself in places that I would actually think to myself I wouldn't fit, mainly because I did not want to try and get disappointed. But this Black History Month, I thought, let me put myself in a space where I thought I wouldn't actually be a part of just because of, life. But in this video, if you are so titled, then yes, I have been pursuing a lot more mediums within modeling just because it's very good for self-confidence, which was very much on my vision board video. Go watch it over here. And if you haven't noticed, I've been trying to push more of my social media, which is on my Instagram really. And I've been doing that by going on several different mediums or apps or websites that took me a minute to find because some people be gatekeeping. I'm not gonna lie. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in a second. But first, before we start any of that conversation, we're gonna go over to my Excel sheet and really talk about where I am in my process. Have I gotten a yes from anyone? Have I actually been rejected from everything? How is that looking? Just so I can be totally transparent with you guys, because I don't want to come on here and make it sound like I applied to everything, I got everything, or I applied to nothing and then just failed like I've done in the past. Anyway, so I'm gonna look over here on my laptop. I'm not using my phone this time because I feel like I put too much on here for once. So yeah, in terms of jobs, I've applied to over 182 jobs. That is over the course of 3 weeks since I started this whole challenge, like literally weeks ago. And throughout this whole job, I've been getting a lot of rejections, a lot of rejections. But in terms of actually looking for interviews or even getting an offer, no offer yet. I fingers crossed I get an offer. There is one interview I'm still waiting on getting back a yes or a no from. I'm going to email them today, but that was like weeks ago, so we don't talk about that. I actually got 2 interviews today. I got offered an interview today, which is quite nice because I was stressed about it yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you would not believe how many jobs you put in just to have them all say rejected or not come back, and then for 2 of them to come yesterday, I was like, okay, now I feel a little bit better. So 2 interviews so far, both first round. I haven't booked a time yet with them, so far in the comings. But the whole idea of putting yourself out there and applying to multiple jobs really do become a more of a numbers game than like your skill level, because you could be qualified for a lot of bullshit and they will still say no. Like, I literally, quick side note, I literally applied for a job like 2 days ago and I tailored my entire resume to that specific job, and the ATS that like scans it and everything immediately got me back an email saying you were not selected. And I was like, yep. And that's how I know I should not spend 2 or 3 hours per job, because it's just not worth it. Like, I don't know what could have changed from their little website to what the heck they were like looking for. But anyway, for the jobs, 2 interviews in terms of like the 182 jobs I applied for. Now, it's a lot of rejections, but just assume I got like 1/3 of them rejected. Okay, so outside of jobs, I really haven't looked anywhere else in terms of like fellowships or anything like that, because those do take a lot longer to like do. So I haven't touched any of them. I've been trying to be really gung ho about a jobs interview because I just want to get a job. Like, I'll be really honest. But we'll always do that in the following weeks, I guess. So then outside of jobs, if we go over to content creation, which is the next thing that I wanted to do in terms of like my YouTube and also my Instagram to promote myself, but also get more brand deals, because who doesn't like free PR? I have applied to a total of 65. I didn't apply. I really contacted 65 people. And my main way of doing that was through email. So there's actually a website called, if I can like literally scan over a website that had the title, Aurelia Talent. I would like put a little, screenshot of what that looks like. It's basically a dashboard that shows up every company that ever existed in terms of giving like PR to content creators. If you're ever looking for a way to like get your place to like put yourself out there, get free stuff. If you're a bigger creator than me, then you can definitely use this website. I found it through Reddit, so it literally shows you like a bunch of companies. Not all of them. I heard it's like 20,000 for free, but it's totally fine. Like it's totally enough. And I've been using them to like look them up on Instagram mainly because the emails I can email them like forever, but they get lost in the void. And a lot more businesses look at their Instagram because that's how businesses grow these days. And I'm not going on TikTok because I don't have one. So far I've done 62 or 65 of them. I think zero of them said yes to me. Yeah, zero said yes to me. A few of them told me to reach out to their PR email, which I did, and none of them have really came back and tell me anything different. So a few of them said no. Most of them are ghosting. So that is to be expected, honestly, because I don't think brands really care to like say yes to you unless they really want you. A template that I use is honestly as I think I use like a template I saw online. I just tailor it to every company. I don't really have like the strongest build to like persuade them to say yes to me. I just kind of like write down what I already do and then I just give it to them. So if you ask me for a template, don't because I can't give you one. You're better off looking at an actual YouTuber who gets PR for that. But in terms of content creation from literal brand deals, they have been so far slow and steady, I will say. Very slow and steady. Because it's New York Fashion Week for like, I guess the next several weeks. I don't know how this is possible. Everyone's doing it in New York. So I couldn't actually apply to those. I did actually apply to them. And I will talk about that right now. So I applied to like 2 or 3 New York Fashion Week like walk castings. And I was accepted to walk like 2 of them. One of them is actually happening on Saturday, which Saturday being February 7th, if I post this late, which I probably will. And I can't go to New York because I'm in Chicago and they're not paying for me to go to a casting call. So I obviously had to say no to them because, yeah, I'm not exactly going to that. So I've been real selective nowadays because even though I got a yes from them, like I said in my first episode, there will be times where I have to say no because of location. And that was definitely a location problem because I don't want to pay too much money for New York, and especially for like a runway walk that I'd probably be like, I think I'll be okay, but I don't want to risk it, right? So I had to say no. Anyway, let's keep going. So apparently, in this one, I applied to 56 modeling stuff in general. This includes modeling stuff, modeling agencies, and fitting model, which is like one thing. Only one of them was like a fitting model. So for the modeling agencies, there's a lot in like America, I guess you can apply to, which is great. But the big ones don't care about you unless you really are loved or whatever. And the smaller ones, I've applied to a few in different states, just because they've been outspoken on Instagram. They do not want me because I'm not in Chicago. It was actually kind of funny because one of them was like based in like Wisconsin, and they're literally bringing people to Chicago to model. And I applied to them because I'm like, well, if you're gonna bring them here anyway, but they're like, oh, we're only doing it for people in Wisconsin. But I'm like, then why are you bringing them to Chicago? Like, what the heck? I don't know. I don't get it. But they don't want me, and my own agencies don't care to give me an email. So they've been not saying no, but they definitely have not been replying. So that's been a no so far. But there have been a few magazines that are pushing out like little publications of like, oh, you can put your face in a magazine and it'd be really, really cool and whatever. And I've been like pretty fortunate to like find those like Instagrams and actually show it off. So here's a few screenshots of like a few that I've applied for. One of them being like Blaze magazine, which I don't know how reputable that magazine is. Their Instagram numbers are high, so that's all I care about because I don't know too much about that. I was a little skeptical because they wanted me to pay to be in their magazine, and I was like, no, I'm not paying to be in a magazine. That's just not doesn't make sense to me. But they still put me in it, so I was like, okay, perfect. I'll screenshot it, and I did. So here are the pictures of me in the magazine that I screenshotted because I'm not paying for that. So that's been a yes, and I'm gonna post it on my Instagram. Which, if you haven't followed me by now, you can. I'm not gonna force you. I don't care that much. I'd rather do organic growth through like people who care about modeling versus forcing it down people's throats. So that's been like one yes so far. That's been pretty good. And there have been a few other yeses along the way, but I realized really quickly that when you apply for modeling runway walks, which is like the biggest thing because it's fashion week for everyone, I guess. A lot of people want you to pay to walk. Like they'll say, if you pay this much money or you sell this many tickets, you will literally get to walk, which I think is kind of scammy because it's like I'm basically paying for people to sit and watch me versus the other way around. So I don't think that's really smart. And yeah, you can like tell your followers to do it if they want to, but at the end of the day, it's like, well, that's not really you wanting me to be there. It's you basically saying you want to see the table, pay for it. Like I don't think I want to pay for you to see me walk, right? So I've been trying to say no to a few people because they seem great, and then they quickly just be like, "Ooh, we don't want to show you off anymore." It's like, come on now. So I've been saying no to them. But in terms of actual work that I've been doing, so that's really it. A lot of them are like me applying for casting calls and not hearing anything back. I applied to them like a week ago, so I don't think I'll hear back for a long time or ever if that's the case. Um, but if you do check out my Instagram, I do have a lot of pictures on them, and I have more pictures coming up in the way. So I'm done with the Excel sheet in case you didn't notice. I stopped showing that off a while ago. But in terms of actually modeling stuff, this is what this video is about. I saw the title. I was accepted to be in a music video. So this would be like my second music video because the first one I done like literally like a month ago when I first started modeling. And it was mainly because someone was just trying to do something, and I thought, oh, it'd be pretty cool if I joined, and it was like fun. And it was kind of nice. It's already on Instagram. And I was accepted into a second one. Now it was unpaid because it was more of a film study thing for like a real R&B artist who I guess really was looking for a music video, but they're like fighting against like other states who are doing it for the same person. So it's kind of hard for them to like really get a footing. But I was a part of it, and they just sent it over. So I don't know how copyrighted the song is, so I will literally mute it. But I'll play a little snippet here where you literally see only me, okay? Okay, did you see me? Did you see me? I haven't seen myself yet, so I actually have to watch it and see if it's even seeable. It was pretty dark in that room, so it was supposed to be like a music video, like party vibe. So hopefully it gets chosen. I'm not sure if they would choose us, but if they choose anyone, I hope it's them because they did an amazing job. But that's been very exciting, and I was able to do that because I went on Facebook. Facebook is like a great place as well as a bad place to find people to like either do modeling shoots for you or also have like a lot of projects on there for you as well. So they was to find them because I just kept searching up model, but like obviously in Chicago because a lot of people love LA and New York and Georgia for some reason. That's great for them. And so for the longest time, I was doing that for like forever. So this is the part of the video where I talk about the different like apps and websites that I use personally to like find either photographers to take more photo shoots for free, specifically for free, or how I got these nails for free. Yes, I haven't talked about them, and they've been like in two of my videos. They're free. Thank you so much for watching. Or how I got to be in a music video, or how I'm trying to push myself to be more random shit because it's fun and I have no job. But yeah, Facebook overcoming best place to be on. Everyone puts their shit on there. These nails, I literally got them because they asked people to be a hand model and they were hand modeling for nails. So I got these nails for free. They're in a real salon. I don't know how much they originally cost, so don't ask me, but here's the place that I did it at. It was quite nice, very pretty. Here's a little screenshot or whatever. They're very cute. You like them? They're so cute. I'm not used to having like artificial nails, so I'm getting used to them. Getting used to them. The music video that I've done or have done, they're both from Facebook. People have posted them in Facebook, right? There's multiple Facebook groups you can apply to if you're in Chicago, obviously. If you're in like LA, they have them for you, obviously. If you're applying for like casting calls to be an actor, they have them too. I don't care about that, but I've seen them a lot and it's kind of getting annoying because I'm not trying to do that. So I don't want to see them on my page, but they're always on my page. So that too. But Facebook, great. Another app I use in the same breath is Threads. I recently downloaded Threads because I kept seeing them all over Instagram and Facebook. So Threads is a good place to also check. I haven't really gotten anyone yet on Threads, but a lot of people push their stuff on Threads that they don't push on Instagram or Facebook for some odd reason. I don't know why. It's the same company, but anyway, they push their stuff on there. I would be a little more careful there because I don't know, like you can't really verify them as much. And when you're on Facebook, they're in a group, so you can almost like kick them out if you think they're fake. But on Threads, you kind of just have to like roll the dice. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be a bit more careful on Threads, but I have been checking them out. and they always don't give me their location, so they're always in a different country. So that's not great. Another app I use is Instagram. Instagram I've been using a little bit less nowadays because when you come to like searching up people or like tags, like Chicago model, for example, they don't give me them in order. Like if you type it in your search bar and you like look up the tag, they don't like filter them to be like, oh, here's the order. They give you stuff from like 5 years ago, which is very annoying. And I don't like swiping through a bunch of things just to see what happened like literally a week ago. Like so annoying. So I've been using them mainly to find photographers and brand deals, obviously, right? And photographers, I actually did find a lot of photographers literally through Instagram. Like I don't know how else you find a photographer. I mean, yeah, Messenger on Facebook too, great. But I actually found the photographer I did like 4 photo shoots just in the last week and a half, which is great. The pictures are still being processed. So maybe you might see them in this video, depending on when I post this. Maybe you might see it in the coming video, depending on when I record that. But like I found someone who literally said I was the first person to find him on Instagram because he is usually renowned for like I guess posting somewhere else or whatever. Or he has a website. I don't know. I don't know how I found this guy, but I found him on Instagram and he does a phenomenal job. And a lot of people have their own website, but a lot of people are willing to take pictures for free if they have like downtime. You just have to ask. And I have been asking a lot of people because I can't be embarrassed if I don't remember your name. So I literally didn't know his name until he kept contacting me. And I was like, oh, great. Like even you guys won't see the video for a while, but I have another photo shoot on Saturday the 7th. And I also have an open casting call on Saturday the 7th. So, like, you see what I'm saying? And I have another photo shoot that I might skip because it's Super Bowl, but it's on Sunday on the Super Bowl day. So, you see, like, there's a lot of stuff happening all because I, like, contact people on Instagram. Like, it's really quick. I'd be like, here's who I am. I want to do a photo shoot that's, like, free. A free photo shoot, please. Free 99, please. And that's what I do. And they either can contact me and say, no, we don't do free, or they can be like, oh, yeah, I'd love to do it. When do you want to do it? Where you want to do it? And I'm like, oh, here and there, here and there, you know? If they have their own in-house studio, perfect. If they have their own like studio, want you to rent out, maybe give them a freer option because they do gotta go for the more expensive options. So Threads, Instagram, Messengers has Facebook, pretty good options. In terms of apps, outside of those bigger apps, obviously, some of the apps that I have seen that comes with like projects and jobs and whatever that are free. We're not talking about Backstage. We're not talking about project casting because they don't have anything in Chicago ever, which is kind of crazy because they don't want you to pay. We're not talking about none of these other apps that would think they're so great because they don't want to put it on any other website, right? None of that. We're talking about free apps here. We're talking about uBooker. I haven't actually been accepted yet, but they are pretty cool. I was using Push Talent or Push Model. I'll put the real name here in the thingy. They were like an app that lets you like connect with other people or other like opportunities to do like modeling, but they were kind of like not replying back sometimes. But you can try it if you want. Maybe it works if you have an iPhone. I don't know. I was using Model Mayhem is another place. I'll be a little careful because a lot of people do like Bon Noir, which is like partial nudity on there. So I wouldn't really be like quick to like go on there if you're not used to that. But they do have people you can connect with to become a photographer. You can check out their actual work to make sure they're not trying to do Bon Noir if you're not into that. And then you can take more photography that way. They do have some paid jobs, but they don't reply to you. So I don't know why. There's that. There's like a few other apps that I have totally forgotten. There's like one that I'm currently using. I forgot the name, but I posted like right here. And there's an app that literally connects you with a bunch of like other professional photographers or models in your city that allows you to literally contact them and get more projects. Because right now, I've been doing a lot of free stuff, a lot of free work, which is totally fine because that's the point of this whole challenge is to like put myself out there and do new things, which is really great. But I would like to get paid because I need a job. I would like to get paid for work that people are able to do for, you know, a good check. So I've been putting so much work out there, do so many photo shoots so that I can use this app and actually put myself out there. Now, I will say Google's your best friend, as it always has been, because when it comes to looking up these apps on the App Store or Google Play, like I have to do, they don't show up if you type in the word modeling or if you type in the word fashion model, whatever you say. You have to like look it up because they don't even show up as like what they're supposed to. So Google has been a great help. Reddit has been a great help. Some apps are like scammers. Some agencies are scamming. So they have been a great resource for what I've been doing. And so far it's been working out. I had like at least 3 or 4 photo shoots in just the first week of February alone. This was a pretty good Black History Month for me so far, and it's only gonna get better. So I'm really hoping that it continues, and I don't like come back and be like it's been plateauing, because I doubt it will, because there's so many photographers in Chicago, and if I don't find them on Facebook, I will find you on Instagram because you need the engagement, and I will be there engaging. So that is all I really have for you guys. I don't know if I missed anything or I forgot anything. I did tell you about the apps. I did tell you about the websites. I did tell you about like how I'm finding them, where am I doing it. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything because I'm kind of in a rush to do stuff. I don't have a photo shoot today, but I need to buy groceries. So I like to do that before the sun goes down. But that's all I have for you guys today. If you guys have any questions, if you want to go in more detail about anything I'm doing, put it in the comments. Like literally, I will be there reading. I get notifications of my own videos, so it's fine. And I'll make a part 2 if need be. If not, I'll talk about something else in the next video that will be part of Chasing Rejection. Maybe for modeling, maybe for content creation, maybe for like the newest job interview scare I got. I don't know. But I'll see you guys next time in a new video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a new video from me. And I will see you guys next time. All right. Bye.